All right, guys, we are live. It is time to get started. It is Thursday, the February the 19th. Time for our live trading day. Our look around the markets and seeing what's out there. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to try a time frame, but we don't normally trade on. But first, as always, before we get started, let's look at our verse of the day. I love this. There's a whole biblical concept here about simplicity, clarity. Our God is not the author of confusion. Our God is not a God of disorder, but of peace. And I think that we all want that in our trading. We want clarity. We don't want disorder. We don't want confusion. We want peace. That's one of the things that every day makes me get up and do this job, is to say, hey, that there are so many ways to bring simplicity and clarity to what we are the ones that are responsible for confusing our trading and our trading systems. So think about your own trading in that regards. Do you feel that the system may be getting away from you, getting out of hand? Do you fully understand your system? Would you like to simplify it? The more I do this, the more I reach for simplicity. So speaking of which, let us just dive right into the various things that we do trade. We had one trade overnight on our automated system. It was a stop loss, and that's okay. Gold is pretty much going sideways. So we had a 1% loss last night. So we're still up 2% for the week, 4%, almost 5% for the month. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if that glitch hadn't happened yesterday and we'd be up an extra 1.5% on this. But it's okay. That's the last time I'm going to mention the glitch. Over on our Frank, which is our whole moving average, one engulfing candle pattern strategy, we are, I'm trying my best not to chase rabbits. We are currently positive. We've been going. Hang on a second. Is that over here on Instagram? Would that be Johnny? Johnny, it's good to see you if that is in fact you. We've been going kind of sideways on Frank. Let's just take a quick run through of the trades that are open and see how long they have been open. Our oil trade, oh my goodness, our oil trade is almost to our first take profit. We can verify that by coming down here and looking at this one. Hey, Johnny, how interesting handle you got there. That's although actually I kind of like it. One thing leads to the other. As you can see, we're at 1%, or excuse me, 0.5% is what we're looking for, which is about $45 to $50, and you can see we're close to it. All right, let's just do a quick run through of our open trades on this long-term swing trade. About halfway there on that one. Oh, by the way, hey guys, if you are interested in simulating, following, doing whatever, we have a signal to go long on Frank right now on, what is this, Aussie Swiss. So I've been in this for a week. I've been in this for a week and a half. But this is an opportunity to get in. I know somebody who uses all of the signals and gets in with a small piece at the beginning and then adds to it as time goes on. So this one's got a signal to go long now, and we're in about a quarter of the way to where we need to go. Euro Aussie is about 2/3 of the way there. Euro Kiwi, we had that big move against us yesterday, pretty much based on the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, or possibly the Royal Bank of New Zealand. I don't know what the R stands for in the RBNZ. Anyway, heading back in the overall general direction now, and so all of the Kiwi pairs had that same big move and are at least not going any more negative than they were before. So let's just do a quick run through, and this is how I trade this. Oh look, hey, here's another signal here on Aussie Cat. If you wanted a chance to try this strategy out, now is your time to get in. So the entry would be the high of this candle, and your stop loss will be the low of the candle. Sometimes I'll pick the low of the last couple of candles. So you might pick this low right here, the low of the week. But anyway, there's your signal there. Let's just keep scrolling. There's a signal I mentioned on Aussie Swiss. Looking for those green or red triangles. And yesterday we had a signal. Look at this. If we had taken that trade yesterday, and why didn't I take this trade? Why do you think I didn't take this trade yesterday? You might have any idea why I did not take this trade yesterday, even though it popped up on my screen. Some of you might say, well, probably because you already had too much risk going on. Maybe it was because there was news out. Nope. The reason I didn't take this trade yesterday was I missed it. I didn't see it, and it happens. So if we had taken this trade yesterday, we'd be out. It would have been a one-day swing trade. I missed it, and there's 1% that I don't have because I forgot to check. And all that I was doing yesterday, I forgot to check this one. Could have had an extra 1%. That's okay. But this shows how well the strategy works. One of the things I love about this thing. All right. Keep scrolling here, and we're looking for signals and not seeing any more. And by the way, look at this. This is another case where you want your stop loss at a place that you're grateful that you got stopped out. Imagine if I was still in this trade, how much I'd be down right now. I got stopped out way up here, and look where price is now. I'm glad to be out of that trade. Keeping on, and going through the U.S. pairs. There's nothing there. All right, so we're done with Frank. Now, time to move on to Forrest. And I wanted to sort of live here for today's session, talking about clarity, talking about simplicity. This is the strategy that I think everybody should add to their routine. And I'm going to show you today this strategy in a way that I don't normally do, which is going to be not the daily chart. I'm going to show you on the 1 hour chart. We talked about this last night in our midweek open forum in our community where we just sort of demonstrate how we're trading and ask one another questions. And it's just a great opportunity for information sharing to spark ideas. Anyway, Buddy Rolando was showing how he's been trading Forrest for the last month. He's up 18% in a month, trading just in this one extra way. Well, what does he do? First things first, he starts off. He has all of the 28 pairs on his screen, MT5, which is easier to do it that way, all on the 1 hour chart. Why? Because his original mentor, the guy who sort of taught him this strategy, said the 1 hour chart is the sweet spot for this strategy. So when he finds some setup here, let's just take this one for Aussie CAD, for instance. He said, well, we might be late to the party. Well, first thing he does is say, I don't want to, I'm a trend trader. I don't want to buck the trend. So the first thing I want to know is, what's this look like on the daily chart? So up here on the daily chart, we're clearly in an uptrend. So first things first, he's not going short. So for instance, he would not have taken this red candle here. He would not have taken that because he doesn't want to buck the daily trend. So the next one, all right, he's got a maximum number of these dots that he'll take. For me, I call it bites at the apple. Once I've gotten my new high, or my new red dot, I get one entry at the 30 and I'm done. Well, he looks at it and says, okay, this one, there's been too many entries. So what does he do? He says, all right, 1 hour chart looks like we missed it. Let's go to the 2 hour chart. Well, we've only got 4 of them now. And yeah, sure, we might have missed it because we've already touched it, the 30. What's the 4 hour chart look like? Oh, 4 hour chart. Well, on the 4 hour chart, we don't really have one. Go to the 6 hour chart, go to the 8 hour. So this is what he does. Multi-time frame analysis. First thing he does is say, is there anything here? I wish I could default TradingView to the end. Is there anything here? And if there is, what's the daily trend look like? Let's go Aussie Swiss, take a look at it. It's going to be the same picture. I found one earlier. I think it was Swish Yen. Yeah. Or maybe it was CAD Yen, one of these two. They're probably going to be about the same. So first things first, we've got an uptrend as demonstrated by the fact that the red's above the blue and, this is shown down here. So we're in an uptrend. What's the daily chart look like? Well, as we know, all the yen pairs are in an uptrend. So we're not going to buck that. We're not going to be going short on this anytime soon. So, but we kind of missed it. Now, having said that, there is absolutely a way to trade this that's actually a little bit of a safer way to trade this particular strategy, which is this. You come to it and say, well, I missed it, right? My entry was here. Okay. Well, now you can get in 2 ways. You can get in on the way up from touching that 30. Or you could say, well, I'm going to get in where the entry was that I missed. So you can have a stop entry. And so your stop loss is going to be, so isn't that a giant stop loss? Yeah. But doing it this way, you're going to have lots of little wins and an incredibly high win rate. Why is that important? Baseball. Do you want to hit home runs or do you want to get on base? Well, you might want to hit home runs. Your coach wants you to get on base. As a trading coach, the thing I want the most for traders who are struggling is confidence. I want them to overcome all the doubt that's running around in their heads and build some confidence. And having lots and lots of small wins and some, but not too many, small losses is the best way to build that. So for this one, say, well, I could on the 1 hour chart, I could absolutely get in on this as it goes back up again. That's one way to handle this. Okay. Another way would be like this. Let's look at the 2 hour chart. Well, the 2 hour chart, we're basically right there. We had our first pullback, and we haven't missed that first pullback by much. What's the 4 hour look like? The 4 hour, that may or may not, well, that's not a dot there on the 4 hour. 6 hour, 8 hour. So your best chance at an entry here is going to be on the 2 hour chart, getting in right now. You could say, oh, look, this is going to be my setup here. I'm going to go long right here. My stop's going to be down here where the opposite dot was, and my exit is right here. And then this is how Rolando does it. By the way, Rolando, if you're watching, thank you for sharing with us last night. I really appreciate that. You think that's a whole lot of risk for not a whole lot of return. True. However, if your system is geared towards lots of small wins, remember, guys, if you're struggling, if you are just trying to get started, if you just want to get the ball rolling, what you want more than money is confidence. And with this system, he had a 92% win rate this past month, an 18% return, just getting on base, nonstop, get on base. And so what does he do? When he hits his take profit, he closes half that trade manually and then puts on a trailing stop, a manual trailing stop, just constantly moving that stop loss up to the most recent. He calls it a pivot. You can call it a recent low, whatever it is. And then you see if you can steal home and see if you can stretch. Someone else can bring you around. Baseball analogy. A good trade to take. I'll just show you how I'll do this, right? Let's trade this live in front of you. So let me go to my Awanda account. This is the strategy incubator account. So $100 in the account, not a big account. Assuming I can log in. Come on now. Come on. Why aren't you logging in? There we go. There we go. All right. So this is Swish in, and it's going to be on the 1 hour chart. So we're going to go Swish in. I'm going to trade it live in front of me. We're going to go long. Hang on. First things first, change it to the 1 hour chart. And we're going to go long. That's Euro Kiwi, not Swish in. Swish in. There we go. We're going to go long right now. And the entry is going to be exactly where we are currently. Our stop is going to be down here at, I'm sorry, guys, we're on the 2 hour chart. There isn't a 2 hour chart on, that's okay. You know what? It doesn't matter because Awanda uses TradingView. Matter of fact, I could and probably should. By tomorrow, I'll have this worked out. I can trade this account through TradingView. One of the reasons I like Awanda, not only can you put $10 into your account and trade real money, but if you've been practicing on TradingView, those two are connected, and you can just trade your live account through Awanda, through TradingView. So our stop loss is going to be, the low there is 197.73. So our stop loss is going to be 197.73, and our take profit. We're not going to have a take profit. We're going to set an alert, and we're going to check on this manually. All right. And I want 1% risk, which is $1 for a $100 account. So, and I'm just looking right here to see I just adjust the positions. When I like Forex, you can just adjust your position size. You pick a spot on the chart. This is the hardest thing, especially for futures traders. They think, well, I just want a $300 stop loss. I just want a 5 points, whatever that stop loss is. No. You pick a spot on the chart first. you pick some place on the chart where if price gets there, it proves to you you were wrong, right? Well, it's not going up, it's going down. Some logical, objective, repeatedly objective spot on the chart. And then whatever that distance is, you just change your position size to make sure that your risk management is always rock solid. So this is how I go over here. All right. I want to risk $1. That's 1% of $100. So I just lower my position. You're looking right here. I just lower my position size until my stop loss equals $1. So right there, and boom, I'm now in this trade live. Just like you see, I'm gonna move that over to right there. All right, so I'm in this trade right now, and I'm in on the 2-hour chart. So now what do? I'm a swing trader. I have no intention of checking my charts 10 times a day. Well, here's what I do. I come over here and I set an alert at 2105, and boom. Now when price hits my take profit level, I'll get an alert on my phone. I'll get an alert on my computer, whatever, get an email. I go to my chart. I hit close for half the position, and I'm done. It takes me an extra 30 seconds. It's still swing trading because this trade can last, I don't know, this trade could last a week. This trade could last a month. But it's on a time frame that's smaller than I normally trade. But you find a way to make it work. We talked about before in that verse, right? Our God is not a God of confusion. We're after clarity. So what is a simple way I can try something new without having to change my entire lifestyle? Well, use technology. Set alerts. If I was trading this over on MT5, I would just write a trading robot to do things for me. But I'm not trading, and maybe I will trade this on MT5. I actually have, well, clearly, right? Clearly, I've already got a trading robot that's trading gold for me, automated. But I like to keep strategies and accounts separate. So I don't, this is one prop firm account with one strategy on it, and I don't want to put anything else on it. If after 100 trades, 50 trades, 3 months, whatever comes first, this strategy is doing well, then I'll go get a new prop firm account, probably with a different prop firm so I can show you guys, and I'll trade it on there. And hopefully it'll be one that allows MT5, and I can write a robot, and I say the AI that I have that's my coder can write the robot for me. And then boom, I've got a brand new strategy, a brand new way to trade an existing strategy. So you don't have to come up with new strategies. You can just have the same strategy traded in a slightly different way. Just go test it. In this case, I don't need to test it because I'm just doing exactly what Rolando showed last night, and he's already tested it, and it works. 18% in 1 month. Who wouldn't want that? So this is something that anybody can do. This is literally, guys, this is literally 2 moving averages. That's it. That's all this is. 2 moving averages. What are the dots? The dots just show you the highest high in the last 50 candles or the lowest low in the last 50 candles. That's it. It's high, low, and 2 moving averages. It is one of the most dead simple strategies. Why I call them Frank and Forrest, because dead simple, right? Frankenstein, Forrest Gump, dead and simple. I love simple strategies. And you don't have to start from scratch building a new strategy. This is why trading rooms, trading communities especially, are so valuable. Some random comment or some demonstration by a fellow trader in your community, and suddenly think, I could do that. Or aren't you stealing his idea? There are no new ideas. I guarantee you, whatever Rolando was doing, somebody did it 30 years ago, and somebody will do it 30 years from now. It's all the same. Trading is trading. So yeah, I saw it. It looked great. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to test it here on my Awanda demo account. $100 of real money, but I still consider it demo because it's only $100. And then, by the way, if you wanted to know what is your, what are the steps to go from idea to I've got my entire 401k in my trading account. Generally, it's 2 to 3 months of trading on demo. First thing is backtest. You never click a button for a trade, be it demo or real, until you backtest it. Why would you, right? Backtest first, then trade a couple of months on demo. Then the next step trade for a couple of months on a small account, live account. Now, maybe for you that's a Wanda, $100. Maybe for you that's $100 for a prop firm account. Then the next step is, okay, well, let's scale that up now. No, let's go from $100 to the next step needs to be something that's, it'll be painful if you lose it all, but it won't hurt you if you lose it all. By the way, guys, you never lose it all. With proper risk management, it is impossible for you to lose an entire account. You can't. You cannot. If you're risking 1% per trade, you'll never lose the entire account. Why? Well, because tomorrow's, let's just say you have a trade that, like today, all right? Yesterday, this was up at 104,000, right? How much did I lose? And it was 1%. So it was 1,068. If I could do math in my head, which I can't, it would be 104,000 thereabouts. So today, when this thing goes to take a trade, 1% is going to be 1% of a smaller amount. And if I lose again, 1% will be a smaller amount. So you're constantly risking less and less and less. So you can't, with risk management, with the appropriate application of risk management, you can never lose all your money. Let me say that again, in case it didn't sink in. With proper risk management, you can never lose all your money. That's it. It's mathematically impossible. The old problem that we all learned in elementary school, that if you have a distance, you're trying to get from here to there, and you go halfway there, and then you go halfway again, and halfway again, and halfway, you'll never get there, because halfway to 100 is 50, and then halfway, it's just, you're constantly cutting in half. So 1%, if you just say, I'm never going to risk more than 1%. By the way, you should just pick one number. Don't say I'm never going to risk more than. I'm going to risk 1%. It's impossible. It's mathematically impossible to lose all your money. You might get down to $5, but okay, you still haven't lost all your money. But you know how hard it is? You know how many losses in a row you have to sustain to even cut your account size in half with proper risk management? Have I said the words proper risk management? Anyway, so that's the procedure. Then, so I got sidetracked into that. Johnny, you were supposed to say squirrel, rabbit. The next step after this $100 size account is some amount that's painful but won't hurt you. What does that mean? Generally speaking, 1 day's pay. Whatever 1 day's pay is to you, that's the next step. Because, okay, something where you can still make rent at the end of the month, but it hurts a little bit. And the pain is important there. And then lastly, so all right, now it's time to start filtering in and slowly ramping up my 401k. $1,000, then $2,000, then $3,000, then $5,000, right? Then $7,000, then $10,000. You slowly get up to where you're risking 10% of your 401k or whatever. And you probably should stop at that point. But that's how we teach. That's how it's a slow process. Give yourself time to be okay with where you are before you take the next step. Patience, all right? Long suffering is in the book. I haven't mentioned the book in quite some time. This podcast, it's not a podcast. What is this? A live trading room. It's sponsored by, as you can see scrolling here, our new 5-day challenge that will be coming up in March. You can also get Trading with Joy, the book I wrote, which talks about long suffering. And as I always say, if you, like me, are a New Orleans Saints fan, you know all about long suffering. So that is it. I'll keep demonstrating this, and I'll keep showing you what this particular strategy will do. Guys, I can't stress enough. Find a strategy and then go test it and trade it with consistency. And then before you get distracted and move on to a different strategy, go talk about it with somebody. Explain it out loud to somebody else and have them ask you questions about it. If you don't have anybody else, A, you can join one of our communities. But B, go talk to ChatGPT and say, hey, here's my strategy. Ask me 10 questions. And then you might say, well, what if instead of this, what if I did that? I have pointed it out until all of you are sick of hearing it, which is Bob. Bob didn't work until one day. I actually showed you what was on my screen. I apologize. Bob did not work until one day I switched from a single line to this double line. Once I switched to the double line, the heavens opened up and Bob started working. By the way, the benefit of this double line is it's a no man's land, and you're a trend trader. Do you want to trade this? Do you want to trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days of nonstop sideways action? No, you don't. Good news. Bob keeps you out by saying, no man's land, can't do anything. I was talking to one of our students Tuesday about trend trading, and he was saying, he used the term barcoding. He says, I don't want to be in a trade. I don't want to get into a trade when it's just going sideways like that. So no trend trader does. Every trend trader gets killed when you are when you're going sideways. So find a way to filter that out. Is that a specific indicator on TradingView to show the dots? It is now my indicator that I have combined 2 or 3 together with the help of ChatGPT. And if you give me 24 hours, Mustard Seed Academy, I will come up with the name of the indicator that I found originally, that I then just sort of took I basically, the code you're seeing, the code you're not seeing because I don't have a producer and my producer's not here and you're not seeing it. The code for this is essentially 3 indicators combined into one, for the sole sake of me being able to have one thing on my chart that says forest as opposed to 4 things. But no, I didn't make this. It is not specific. It is one that I found, which is basically like a high-low. I think the words high-low were in the name. But that's all this is. Just FYI, forest is 2 moving averages, and what's sitting at the bottom? This is just a representation of that, right? When the red line is on top, it prints green X's at the bottom. When the red line's below, it prints red lines. Just because if you have old eyes like mine, you're like, well, what? I can't tell if one's on top. That's all it is. It's 2 moving averages, and then it prints high-low. That's it. So it's just 2 indicators, or 3 if you consider moving averages separate. It's just 3 indicators merged together into one Pine script file. So no, you can build an entire strategy off of free systems, free everything. Now, mind you, our community members there are people who pay into our program. They get access to all these, but you can build it yourself. Just go to ChatGPT and say, hey, take this indicator, here's the code. Take this indicator, here's the code. Mash them together and spit it back out at me. And then you go in here and you print it. It's just that simple. Simplicity. God's best trading is simple trading. Trading is simple. It's just not easy, which is why we do it and apply biblical principles, because that is our superpower as Christian traders. With that, guys, I'm going to give you back 2 minutes of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.